right, good morning and welcome to our Business and Bruce Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about, as we are approaching the year end, we're giving you tips on how to increase your cash flow. But after that, we will also talk how are you guys going to get more contracts with the government. We have our guest speaker for today. But before anything else, if you have further questions, just feel free to type your comment on the comment section below and we will answer it after the presentation. And for now, I will go first and to understand the net flow. All right, I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay. So the financial conditions for every businesses, for small businesses, whether you are have a full-time job or a part-time business, you need to understand where do you put your money. So that's why we're going to go over with the different type of investments currently have from stocks, bonds, annuities, real estate, and 401k. How are they being affected with your taxation? But I need to make sure that my audio is not on mute. Okay. All right. So the distribution of taxation are on the following. There are two. We normally put our sources of our income and investments are the following. So the one on the left, which is the bucket one, this is where you put your money when you have W-2. This is subject to when you already get your retirement at 80,000 and up. It's 85% on your Social Security will be subject to tax. But for example, you have a real estate stocks on box number two. They are subject when you're starting to get money from your rental property, let's say you sold them, that is subject to capital gain tax. If your retirement is you're receiving 80,000 plus your capital gain, that's subject to 50% of your Social Security will be subject to taxation. How about on box three? So these are the people that put their money on the IRA. So whenever you retire at 65 and then you start receiving 80,000 from the IRA, your 85% of your Social Security income will be subject to tax. However, on box four, this is where the politicians, Fortune 500, what happened when you already have your retirement income, let's say your pension, even you're getting 80,000 on your retirement income, and then the box four, you get an income from an index strategy through life insurance. So your Social Security is not subject to any taxation because life insurance, any interest that grow compounding, is protected by the IRS on taxation. And we're going to dig deeper what is the Internal Revenue Code in this. So of course, we would like to help that make sure the best choice that you're working hard for your money, less tax or to zero tax that we will work on. Okay? David is calling. That he's asking for direction. Oh, you have his number.
Oh, isn't it email?
Yeah. Oh, I can give his number.
Yeah.
Or we have Daniel. His number is
865.
You got it.
865.
Yeah, 309
309
5091. Okay. All right, moving on. So that's the effect of taxation. Now, the biggest retirement, three biggest risks during retirement. So for the biggest risk is number one, stock market. So you don't know the inflation, especially right now. You want to protect your investment from losses. So now longevity, when you outlive, for people on average, women, average lifespan is 85 years old. And then the other risk about retirement are taxes. You know, when you withdraw your 401k, right? When you withdraw your 401k, it's tax deferred, but from the time that you withdraw it, if you withdraw the 401k before 59 and a half, there's a 10% penalty. But if you withdraw it after, they're still subject to taxes. So that's is your 401k okay? The current lifetime income mind gap are as follows. So right now, they're taking anybody that will retire at 65, the Social Security in average American, they receive 2,000 and the pension is 1,500. However, it's estimated that the monthly expenses will be at a $5,000 per month. So there's a 1,500 gap that you must fill in with money from your retirement nest egg. And that's why we have to beat the inflation and the average annual cost. What are we going to do with the money at that age? When 65 years old, we need to plan for our nursing home care. According to the yearly cost is 84,000, and in 10 years, they're projected that it is somewhere 130,680. And then what are the odds of long-term care compared to having a fire? 1 out of 1,200 for car accident, it's 1 in 240, but the long-term care is 1 out of 2. Because, at the same time, we don't want to rely on our family members. So that's why our solution is we need to have at least an investment or retirement portfolio that combined with the tax-free death benefit, tax-deferred cash value, and tax-free loans and withdrawals. Because here, according to the IRS Section 101, the death benefit is received as income tax-free. So anything that you receive tax money, for example, you insure your family, what I was talking about, let's say you guys have a business and your husband is a doctor and then the wife is also working for the company. If there's something happened to the wife, right, there's a 1 million that the company will receive and also the family will split that 1 million tax-free. So the reason why we're putting this is able to have an income replacement. So I know losing a family, it's not just family, emotional losses, but it also dealt with financial. And that's why you have the money to recover from those losses. But what's going to happen if there's no death or dying? For example, November, they had the policy on November, but on December, the wife of the doctor, let's say Dr. Brooks, died, the wife got diagnosed with cancer, stage 4, then that 1 million, up to 90% of the 1 million can be utilized for medication and treatment. So that's why it doesn't need to go to the personal savings account or the business. But if there's no debt or there's no sickness that happened, what is going to happen to the money? So that is where there's what you call accumulation on the premium that they're paying. So we're going to show an example later. Let's say typically what our most of our clients are getting a 10-year plan. It's 12,000 per month in a 10-year plan. Hi, welcome. Have a seat. We have the paper. Thank you for coming.
Oh, okay.
I'm Christopher. So
I'm Sinead.
Sinead, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Christopher.
I'm Janice.
Janice, nice to meet you. This is our Betsy.
Yes, nice to meet you. Betsy. Janice. Janice? How did you find us?
Event, right?
Event.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for coming, and we're gonna have a chance to know what you guys do. By the way, what do you do? Just for we are doing this for small businesses. Do you have a small business?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a financial literacy educator,
Mhm.
and I'm a state licensed, life insurance and retirement.
Oh, what did it say? And how about
And I'm working to get my license in life insurance.
Oh, which company?
I'm with Integrity,
Mm.
Integrity Financial Services,
Mhm.
independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Which city you're from? What city is?
I'm in Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Welcome. So we have a research speaker for federal contract.
Okay, okay.
All right. So talking about
You
the
may have some more people coming, because everybody is looking for you, they over there. On the other side. On the other side.
On the
There's
other
like 5 other people.
Oh wow. I hope they can find their way. Don't worry, I'll take care of it once I'm done with mine.
Okay, because I know that Daniel just said the security guard was sitting in the other way.
Oh,
I went to I've been here since 10:50, and I went to the 26th floor, I went to that conference room over there,
oh wow.
went downstairs, they didn't know where you guys was at.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put like a visual. I'm gonna put a visual.
Oh, yeah.
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 But thank you. Where they are in that area?
They on the west side of the tower.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
East side.
Yeah, because this tower goes from west, east, so So it was like,
Yeah, that's where Danny was. He says, I'm at the cafeteria.
Cafeteria there.
And so I was like, no, come around the other way. Because
Hopefully she found those other people.
yeah, and the security guard, they do not know any guys.
They don't.
No, there's like 5 other people that's standing there waiting, trying to figure out where you guys are.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So I can talk to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Thank you, guys.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the only conference.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you.
You know, I think that's the different conference here.
Yeah, it's a conference room on the west side.
Um,
And then on the east side. We were saying if east or west was in here, we could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, so we're actually talking about the financial literacy, like how we can use the life insurance, as you can see on the screen. So if ever there's no death or sickness that happened, then we can use the growth or the compounding interest growth of the money through the following: either there are not mortgage, or that's the good thing about an index universal plan. When you choose an index universal plan, you can use it anywhere, because some of the people, oh, we would like to fund education. So commonly they get 529 plans. However, if the kids become smaller, then what's going to be the use of the 529? Because it's restricted with the use. Compare with the index strategy, the IRS don't care how you use the money, whether it's for college or maybe paying more the mortgage, or sometimes it's just simple vacation that they can use for the plan. I think this is Daniel. Sorry, Daniel, right?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, I think you had a hard time. Have a seat.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, but you're just at the right time for the contract, for our presentation. All right, and then just sometimes just a gift for the grandkids. They can use that money anywhere. So because it's protected under the IRS code, even vacations. So we're going to show a sample on how this is going to go. The current people that are using this plan, we're talking about right now is small business financial planning data, and then we're going to do the government contract. So for the one that are doing this is Ray Kroc, so he borrowed money against the life insurance. So basically, life insurance is a very tax sheltered, very good plan for people, because it's protected from inflation. It doesn't let you lose your money. So the other person that using this strategy, how among you went to Disneyland?
Yes.
So that's another. He also used the life insurance as his bank to finance, and then he also Jim Harbaugh. So that's why what we're trying to teach is how to think like wealthy people.
Yes.
Strategy. When you put your money in the bank, what do you think? It's not going to grow anywhere, right?
Right.
It's just because the bank will put 0.00 something interest on your money, and then they tax it, right? The only good thing about the bank is you have it's liquidity. You could easily get that money out of the bank. So for example, you put the money on the CD, like check deposit. It has, hello, welcome, sorry.
Sorry, I've been walking everywhere.
Thank you for coming. And we're talking about the investment in life insurance and how it grows. We talk the index universal. Have you heard the index universal before? The IUL?
Let me make sure I'm at the right place at this time. Is this the
Closer.
Yeah, this is the finance.
financial freedom for government contracts?
Yeah, that's going to be the second topic
Okay, all right.
at 11:30. Thank you for coming.
No
Oh, what
problem.
do you do, by the way?
I'm a multipreneur. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, real estate, get a couple of
Oh, we all are.
laundromats. Yeah, laundromats, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do accounting, tax compliance, and we have a guest speaker right now that's going to cover government contract.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So if you can see on the illustration below, you would see the growth of the money is the yellow when you put your money in a CD, it grows by 1.7. However, if you put your money in the IUL, it's at 6.4 compounding. So this is a typical comparison on how your money grows in the IUL and CD.
Do they have
Cash
the
deposit.
same time frames built into them? Like a CD is a set amount of time, right?
Yes,
And an IUL is the same?
yeah, this is also like a, based on this, almost on the same year that you put in a $100 monthly premium. All right, so for example, the way we design the IUL, an index, for example, a company, the husband on our illustration, if the doctor is the husband and his wife works for him, so let's say the wife is operations manager, the doctor get a policy of 120,000. So 120,000, the company pays for it, and then the wife also got another 120,000. So the ABC clinic will pay for their policy, but it's only a 10-year plan. So what is it for them? So that's 120,000 is only a 10-year payment. And if there's no death or sickness that happened, at the age of 65, the doctor and the wife will each get 47,000 every year with no taxes. So that is the good advantage of this plan. And guess what? That for 120,000 only 10-year plan, 47,000 for 20 years. That's equivalent to 900,000 of retirement income. Right? Is it a good investment? Yes, because they're receiving up to 940,000, that 47,000 every year beginning 65, no taxes. So whatever money you guys have with your 401k, your pension, your social security, this has nothing to do with any of your tax. And the good thing, it doesn't let you lose your money because it's indexed. It doesn't let you lose your money up to negative. That's what the power of an index strategy is. Okay? So that would, if you guys have further questions, we cover the different strategy on your retirement. You just scan a QR code. On this paper, that is our contact. You can scan a QR code for more information on our company, and you can always book us online. All right, so we're going to go to phase 2 of our presentation, and our guest speaker today, she's been doing this for so many years, the government contract, how you can get more business for your businesses. All right, so let us all welcome a good friend of mine, we have Lashanda.
Hi,
Hi.
how are y'all? Good. What is today? Tuesday, okay, I think about it. So, good morning, thank you all for being here. My name is LaShonda Griffin, and I own LG Professional Contracts. And so what I do is anything from helping organizations form their LLC to helping them get their minority certifications, whether it be small business, veteran, disabled veteran, disadvantaged business, and any of those. And then I also help acquire government contracts where you submit bid on government contracts, and I've been doing this for a few years. I was in education for 30 years, and I needed an exit strategy, so I exited out.
Amen, okay.
to do this full time. So this is what I do full time. I have a team, and we work together to try to make sure that y'all navigate the government contracting realm. And then for some people, they're like, oh, government contracts, so it's really not that. So yes, yes. So does anyone ever bid on a government contract, know anything about government contracts?
I do.
You do? Okay, perfect. No one's ever bid on one?
No.
Nope, okay, and that's quite all right, not a problem at all. All right, so, let's get through some of these. So, what is a government contract? That's going to be a binding agreement between the government and you guys, right? So what it means, not like a handshake, it's actually a legal agreement. There's going to be terms, there's going to be information on it that you're going to need to know as far as what to do, what's going to be in that contract, what your expectations are. All those things will be inside the actual government contract. So it's no wishy-washy area. There's no, everything is, it's going to be in black and white as far as what it is you need to do. there are levels. There are there are federal, there are state, and there are local contracts. And what most people don't know is that the largest buyer of goods and services is the U.S. government. So, I mean, it can be in billions as far as how much money is spent annually just on government contracts. The government wants to help support small businesses, especially when you're looking at state and local, especially local. Local, they want to contribute to the economy as far as helping small businesses in that area. So we'll get to the point where we'll talk about when you bid on local contracts and what that looks like. That's going to be with more of the cities and counties.
First line.
Yeah.
So as far as federal, that's going to be your Department of Defense, that's going to be NASA. State contracts, that's going to be health, it's going to be your ISDs, education, universities. Local is going to be city and counties. The process, if done correctly, can be an easy process to navigate, but if it's done incorrectly, it can be a very hard process to navigate. There are lots of things that you have to make sure that you're paying attention to. Too much, to the point of if they say that the bid is due at 12 p.m., if you put it in at 12:01, you're automatically disqualified. If in that bid you read it and it says that the font must be submitted in Arial 10.1, that font better be Arial 10.1. If not, they will disqualify you. They will do different things to make sure that, hey, this person is following directions, this person is paying attention to detail. All those things matter. The government, or the federal, it is ran by the Federal Acquisition Regulation. Oh, yes.
No, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Got it, yeah. Not a problem. As far as the different contract types, there are going to be ones that have a fixed price, there are going to be ones where they give you cost reimbursement. But all those things are going to be included in what's called an RFP. That's going to be your request for a proposal. And there's also called an RFQ, that's request for a quote. But again, everything is detailed and outlined in all these requests. Also with government contracts, they have the small business program, they have an AA, and they have a HUD zone. Those are utilized for, that the government sets out for special set-asides. The state itself, it does its government contracts, they are managed by the state. There are state-specific rules, so the rules that apply in Texas may not apply in California, so we'll make sure that wherever it is that your business is registered in, that you follow those specific state guidelines as far as when submitting the bid into the government contract. And each state has its very own portal, so we'll learn about the vendor portals. Vendor portals, so let's say for Texas, we're going to say it's going to be NTTA, that's going to be roads, healthcare systems, that may be the UT system, the UT Southwest systems, medical city systems. They're each going to have their own portal that you must register in order to be able to know these government contracts that are out there. For local, that's going to be your city. That's going to be maybe the city of Garland, city of Grand Prairie. This is the city of Irving. All of those contracts are going to be at much smaller timelines. So they may be anywhere from 1 month out to 6 months out. As far as opposed to federal, those could be years out. You need for your local vendors. So let's say you want to do transportation, right? So if you have transportation, which actually, as a matter of fact, what companies do y'all have? Or do y'all each have a company?
Yes.
Okay, what is yours?
It's in financial services,
Okay.
financial educator,
Okay,
and, I'm also a state licensed life and retirement broker.
okay. So state contracts, local contracts, there will be those out there for you and yourself.
I'm going to do, financial service. and
Okay.
Insurance. I'm not licensed yet, I'm just starting, so I'm trying to.
Okay.
Information is out there.
Yeah, not a problem. There are contracts that the government buys everything, goods and services. There's not a good or service that the government does not buy.
I own a few laundromats and real estate properties, and so I'm just diving into a different realm here since I have a little extra time.
Okay, yeah, there's contracts for you as well. And yourself?
New, like trying to figure out if I can use this to get money to start a business or
Okay.
sub things out.
What is the industry?
Nothing. I have
Oh,
no
you're
idea.
from scratch. Oh, okay, I apologize. I thought you had, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
That is okay too. And there's a myth that some people think, oh, I had to have been in business for a few years to do government contracts. You do not. Now, there are some that may specify that, right, or what's your past performance. And your past performance doesn't necessarily have to be with that particular entity, right? It could be any type of past performance as long as it's within the industry and as long as it meets the guidelines of whatever that particular government contract is. So don't feel that because you just started, you cannot find government contracts that are out there. And yourself?
I'm starting out at a smaller part of the group in business.
Okay.
We sell products, personal training, and all that kind of stuff.
Got it. And even in the education world, right? Some universities may be looking for someone to come in and teach a class, right? Train students, train educators. They may have something that's out there to say, hey, you know, we want to give our staff the opportunity for health and wellness. So there could be something out there for you as well.
And steam boilers and welding.
Okay, definitely the construction. That's where that's from that's gonna fall in construction. And
We do accounting and tax compliance.
got it. So again, there is not an industry that the government does not have a contract out there for you guys. So first thing that they do is market research, right? So then they're gonna go out and they're gonna be like, okay, these are all the things that we need. How do we plan for this? What does this look like? And you'll start to see those RFPs come through. As I said, that's what it's called, solicitation. Again, RFP, RFQ, and IFP. Proposal submission, what that's gonna look like is it's gonna say, this is when this is due. They also have a time period that is for questions that you may want to submit. Like for instance, I'm submitting a bid for a company right now for UT Tyler on marketing. And today is the deadline for the questions. So the actual bid is not due until December 5th, but the questions are due today. So then what will happen is you submit those questions, any question that you may have, they will then come back with answers for you before the bid is complete. So that way if you need to go adjust any of the things that you put into the RFP, you can. Evaluation and awards, they're gonna give you good time to say they're gonna, that they're going to, the bid is due on December 5th, but then the evaluation period may not be, an award period may not be until January, February, March. Then what will happen is they'll see who they're going to award the contract out to, and then that person will be notified. Now, what I do tell everybody, and even all of my clients, is whether we win or lose, we're going to actually request a debriefing with the entity. I want to know why I didn't win, or why did I win? Also, what happens with that is when I find out whether or not who won, I can then contact that person and say, hey, congratulations, I understand that you won, we were bidding on the same thing. By chance, do you need anybody to subcontract out to? So though I may not actually be the prime on that contract, I still can get a piece of that pie. So do not hesitate to find out why you didn't win, and also that way, and with that, you're also finding out, you kind of make a list. Every time I bid with, say, for instance, NTTA, I'm gonna know, you know what? I lost because of this last time. Let me make sure this next proposal that I do, whatever this information is that they gave me, is inside that particular next proposal that I do. Are there any additional questions that you guys may have? I know I kind of sped through everything, but I want to make sure that I left time for questions and answers.
So what are the basic business documents? For do everybody need to be LLC?
LLC, they can be joint ventures, S-corps, just again, it's going to depend on the contract, and it's going to depend whether it's going to be federal, state, or local. And also with federal, you have to be registered with SAM.gov to do federal contracts. If you're not registered with SAM.gov, you cannot do any federal contracts.
Are there minimums, types of insurances that you have to carry?
Sometimes, that's going to be mostly in the construction world, but they're going to have, it's going to be outlined for you.
Oh, so that is in the process.
That is in the process, yes. So initially, when you first receive that RFP or RFQ, you're going to see what those requirements are.
Okay.
Or whether you have to have bonding, that may be something that may be needed as well, but that's mostly in the construction area.
Would they check your financials or tax returns?
Sometimes your business credit, sometimes not, it just kind of depends. But more than likely at this point, no, it's depending, it's for them, did you get the work done, right? It's not so much about having, because of course, now you do want to make sure you're paying your contractors, because if you don't, they will tell. Now, there are, in other areas, it's gonna be listed out, they will come back and, oh, because again, if that subcontractor tells them, oh, we're not getting paid, guess what happens? They just decide they're not gonna continue working for you, right? So then you don't wanna get blacklisted because you did not complete everything that you needed to complete for the job.
How's the payment? For example, you got approved, will it take months or weeks?
So yes, so the contract, which will also be outlined in the RFQ, is gonna say whether or not it is net 30, net 60, net 90. So especially if you're bidding on federal contracts, you wanna make sure that you have the cash flow and capital to be able to do that. As with some of the local and state, they're gonna be a little bit smaller. But then also we have things that you can partner with, which are factoring companies. I actually partner with a factoring company, so what happens is we purchase the invoice for you, so that way you don't wait the 30, 60, or 90 days, and then we have the actual entity pay us instead of paying you.
Can you only, bid on one contract or can you?
Nope, you can bid on as many as you want, as long as you're gonna be able to do the work. And whether that means you or whoever you subcontract out to.
Okay. Oh, so you can subcontract?
Yes.
out too?
Yes, absolutely, you can subcontract out.
Oh, yeah, just for example, like on my company, we don't have CPA, but if there's a CPA that won the contract and they require bookkeeping, we could subcon with a CPA. So that is, does the subcon need to have the registration to like some, those kind of registration?
It varies, most likely better than that, because you're just subcontracting, as long as you, who won the bid has it, then.
Okay.
And also with certifications, right, so the government has what's called some set-asides. So they'll say, well, if you win this particular contract, you're required to set aside 35% or 25% of that contract to a minority business, to a small business, to a veteran-owned business. So that's why.
Right, women-owned.
Woman-owned, yes. That's why you want to make sure that you do have your certifications, because sometimes, even though another person or entity won, right, they got to subcontract some of that out. So in that case, you may be able to be that entity that they subcontract, or business that they subcontract out to.
Are those set aside rules in
It's
the,
gonna be inside the RFP, yep. And it may say 30, and again, they may say, as long as 35%. That doesn't mean that whoever won only has to subcontract to one. They may subcontract out to 3 or 4. As long as they reach that percentage, they may say, I'm gonna give 10% to this business, then 10% to this business, and 5% of the work can be done by this one. That's their 35%, and that would have met all the requirements.
So if you're subcontracting all of your services out, how would you go off of like you were talking about the past history or what have you? Would you tell the people about the past history of all the other types of subcontracting that you've done?
If they ask for that, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But the good thing about that subcontracting is, if you subcontract out to her, she gets to say that, hey, I did the actual contract through, whether it be City of Dallas or NTTA. She's able to put that on her as past performance. Is that what you're asking?
Right, so the past performance will go off of whoever you're hiring a subcontract.
They can, yes. They can, you can utilize that.
Okay.
So I think
Go
you
ahead,
asked you answered the opposite question. So if I'm starting from scratch, my past performance is 0,
Is 0.
but she has 30 years in, can I use her performance
Exactly, that's what.
background as I am the one writing the contract, the bid?
You are right, yes, because at that point, you're able to say that this person has this amount, this is who's actually performing the work.
Gotcha.
So you would want to find who your subcontractor is going to be for whatever you're doing
Yes,
prior to submitting for the bid?
yes, if you're subbing out, yes. Because then what also then happens is, the next contract you use, right? You can say that you now have a past performance with the City of Dallas, even though
He's the one.
y'all partnered
Exactly.
together, yep.
Understood.
Is it true, LaShonda, that the more certifications you have, the higher the chance that you could be shortlisted? Let's say you get socially disadvantaged, a woman-owned, you're a veteran.
Yes, there's more opportunities that are out there. There's more opportunities that are out there because, whether it be, again, veteran, woman-owned, small business, disadvantaged business, there are more opportunities out there because there's more set aside for you. So you can be working on multiple projects at the same time through different companies.
Is there a certain time frame that you have to be in business? Since we're like, starting out in this realm, do you have to be in business for a certain amount of time before you can apply for these different certifications?
Nope. Nope, the only thing the one thing that it'll affect is gonna be taxes, right? When you just started, you don't have any taxes. So you just put brand new company, I don't have my taxes yet, and they'll say, okay. But then when you go for your renewal, they'll expect that you'll show
Okay.
your tax. So yeah, so just because you just started does not mean that you cannot go ahead and apply for your certifications.
So if I get the contract because I'm disabled veteran only, okay? But I wanna sub it out, do I have to sub it out with like for like, meaning a disabled?
For women owned, how many percentage at least? Do they need to own 51%?
51%.
Oh.
You're veteran owned, 51%.
Mhm.
If you are service disabled owned, 51%.
So if you are looking at the chart of popularity, what would you recommend to someone if they're forming a company? Women, minority?
Meaning for what certifications to get?
Okay.
Well, of course, there's always, if it's gonna be a veteran, if there's a veteran that you're partnered with, or a veteran, absolutely, that's gonna be the very top one. Yeah, that's the top one. And then after, and of course, small business, which all of you would be considered small business. So that's one of you can apply for small business. You ladies right here can apply for women owned. Now, when you partner with a wife or someone else and you're gonna give them 51%, now you can have your company apply for women owned.
Is there a way to set up a company that it would be woman-owned, but like they don't want to get paid because they don't want to pay the taxes, and they get some sort of equity or some other type of ownership interest in the business?
Oh, an investor.
An investor,
Is that?
Yeah.
but then the company itself wouldn't be woman, I mean,
It would be 51% women?
they're only 51%, but they are only wanting to be they're only wanting to invest. And those are things that you would have to outline in your operating agreements. and
Yeah.
Things of that nature. You guys can discuss that, that would be a separate.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we were talking earlier about blacklisting. So if you don't come through and you get blacklisted, say you get the contract, you sub it out, and one of your subs winds up creating the problem, do you still run the risk of you getting blacklisted?
If the work can't be completed, if you can't find someone else to hurry up.
Because ultimately you sign.
You decide, yes. Yes. So you want to make sure that you have a backup plan if by chance the sub walks off the job or whatever it may be. You're like, okay, well, now call someone else. Now, also, the government, there's lists that are out there that they help you find. Because they'll say, sometimes did you do all that you can to actually find someone to subcontract out that was on one of those set-asides? And they'll say, here's a list, and they're gonna expect that you contacted some of the people on the list that they provided for you.
But then the other thing we were talking about before is if the RFP contains like multiple things that you have partnered companies together to be able to submit, so everybody gets a piece, but it doesn't have to be one company.
Well, you're gonna be the prime company,
Right.
and then you're subcontracting out, yes, so like, for instance, I was using Terry earlier, he has a marketing company, well, maybe he only has the bandwidth to do the social media part. He doesn't have the bandwidth to do the behind the scenes, so he's subcontracted out to another company that can do the other pieces, but at the whole, at the end of the day, the contract that was awarded will be completed.
And you highly recommend, this is a very important thing that you said, that whenever they register, they need to have a separate email, right?
Oh, yes, that is what I
Yeah,
said.
that one.
Sorry, I had another training that I did upstairs, right before this one, so that's what they're talking about. Yes, so when you're registering for these different companies, for these different entities, you want to make sure that you have an email that is separate, like maybe it's called bids at whatever your company is. Because your email is going to get inundated with these contracts that are going to come through for you to bid on, because those contracts are going to come through based on the NAICS codes, that's NAICS codes that we're going to put in the system for you, particular to your industry, right? So if you're in construction, they're not going to send you finance bids. They're only going to send you construction.
Can you have more than one?
You can have more than one code,
Okay.
yes. You can.
Okay.
And does the LOC have to have claimed that code?
Well, when you file your LLC, there's only gonna be one thing that's, yours is transportation, right? That's all you're gonna have. But when you're bidding in the registry, when you're going in those registry portals, that's where you'll list all the different ones.
Got it.
And is there a database if you are looking at all those codes?
Yes, you just type in NAICS codes, NAICS, or SIC codes, SIC. It's gonna depend on what it is that you're, and they'll list them all out for you. Because you'll just type in transportation, right? So that may be anything from freight to goods to medical courier to supplies, so.
Yeah, we built that with tax filing. NAICS is not American Industry Classification System. The SICM.
SIC, yes,
Yes.
SIC.
Yeah, so they have different code. Whenever you file your tax return, there's an industry classification, whether you're in transportation or here. But every code has a subcodes. So that's what she was referring, that you could be with different industry, because there's, let's say, a landscape, there's commercial landscape, there's residential landscape. So, and, rather than spending time on marketing, paid ads, you pay what, 2,000, 5,000 Facebook, there's no return after 6 months. This is an opportunity because it's a law by the government, right, that they need to allot 100 billions of money for small businesses. So if you all have the business, might as well make the most of the code because it's free. Yeah, because we're receiving, like on my end, we're receiving so many ABD. So your problem is just with B, rather than.
Can't win if you don't bid.
Yeah.
So that's all we do. You can't bid if you don't win. Gotta make sure that you are bidding to win.
All right, do we have further questions?
What,
This is just information.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to send, put your name on email and number here. We're going to send you the information of Lashanda and also the presentation of my presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do this, by the way, every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. So on December, we're going to ask Lashanda if she's available. So just tune in on our Eventbrite, that you can always find us on our Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can find us YCO Tax, we're the one hosting the event, and we're bringing speakers, and these are all good friends of mine that also would like to really help everybody to navigate with their business, because running a business, our challenge is to get market, right? So that's why any opportunity we can get, we're bringing subject matter expert. Okay, so just fill in the information where your name, email, and then your number, and we will send a copy. And then you have time to get the number of Lashanda as well.
Yeah. And it's on the screen.
Oh yeah, it's right there on the screen.
Okay, awesome, thank you. And I can give you my card in just a second. Thank you.
Your mind seems like it's processing. I'm already